So we are starting new room, Aurora EDR. Familiarize with the usage of Sigma-based EDR tool Aurora. Introduction. This room is introduce will introduce you to EDR and Aurora Sigma-based tool for writing detection alert via Windows event logs. Learning subject. The subject of this room are introduce EDR and their functionalities. Introduce event tracing for Windows. Learn about Aurora and its functionalities to write alerts using event logs. Investigate suspicious event detected by Aurora. Prerequisites. It is advisable to check out the following modules and rooms before embarking on this room. Cyber Defense Module, Windows Event Log, small intro to detection engineering coming soon. Then why bother? Sigma rule. So, EDR detection. What is EDR? Security networks. And organization doesn't only rely on monitoring of the external connection or defense on perimeter, but also requires the use of tools and technique to detect, respond to threats at the endpoint. An endpoint detection and response EDR solution provides a proactive approach toward the threat detection and visibility through near real-time monitoring of events on endpoint and evaluates them based on rule-based automated response and analysis. The main function of the EDR are monitor and collect activity data from endpoints that could indicate a threat, analyze the data to identify threat patterns, automatically respond to identified threats, remove or contain them, and notify security personnel. Forensics and analysis tools to research identified threats and search for suspicious activities. The functions of EDR can be broken down into an aggregation of the data on the endpoint and how the data is analyzed and used to detect threats. Endpoint data recording, aggregating network communication, event process execution, file activities, commands, user operation, etc. Telemetry data points, storage of data on endpoints in a server or hybrid approach. Investigation of data and responding. Wipe, search, swipe. Search for indicators of compromise to understand the impact of detection. Find the root cause of detection and remediate, prevent, investigate again. Hunt for indicators of the attack based on behavioral or threat intelligence, automatic detection, or manual. Components of EDR solution. EDR vendors would classify their capabilities differently. However, the following are common classifications. Detection. Fundamental EDR solutions are tasked with threat detection. For example, with file analysis, EDR can flag suspicious files at the site of any malicious behavior. The detection process is also based on how good the threat intelligence sources are. Response containment. EDRs provide response features that help investigate, detect, remediate, contain threats. The action here include host segmentation, file deletion, cleanup, and conducting investigation through sandboxing conditions. Advanced EDR solutions have the capabilities to trigger an automated response based on set of pre-configured rules. Interrogation. EDR extend endpoint visibility through the collection and aggregation of the data. Therefore, in addressing endpoint security, EDR solutions need to work smoothly with existing security solutions in an organization. Insights. Real-time analysis of event very is becoming very common, providing a rapid evaluation and correlation of threat data. Through complex machine learning and artificial intelligence algorithms, EDR solution can automate threat detection, perform behavior analysis, mapping them to frameworks such as MITRE ATT&CK. Forensics in-depth investigation of the past threats provides valuable information on the inner works of exploit and how a breach was successful. With this, EDR solution can outline threat timeline and identify lurking threats that go undetected. What does EDR stand for? Endpoint detection and response. Yes. Event tracking for Windows. Event tracking for Windows EDW is the Windows OS login feature that provides a mechanism to trace and log events raised by user mode, application, and kernel mode drivers. EDW provides the capability for applications and drivers to write events. For security defenders, this becomes a vital source of detection information. EDW is made up of three distinct parts: controllers, providers, consumers. Controllers. Those applications are used to configure event tracing session. They also initiate the providers. An example of controller is Logman exe. Providers. Those are applications that provide event logs. Consumers. Those applications subscribe and listen to the event in real time or from the file. Windows Event Viewer. Windows Event Viewer application provide event logs that would be useful for troubleshooting and understanding the activities being performed. These logs include system access notifications, security changes, operating system errors, hardware failures, and driver malfunctions. We shall briefly examine how event logs are presented via Windows Event Viewer. The event information is categorized under those types of levels. Information describes the successful operation of drivers or services. Basically, the service is calling home. Warning describes an event that may not be present issue but can cause problems in future. Error describes a significant problem with the service or application. Success audit outlines that an audited security access operation was successful. For example, the user's successful login to system. Failure audit outlined that an audited security access operation failed. For example, a failed access to network drive by a user. Even a properly functioning host will show various logs under those classes, and as a security analyst, you will be required to comb through the logs. This ensures you can keep tabs on systems operation and troubleshoot any problems. Using the event viewer. Event viewer is manually found as an application on system. We can find simply by searching event viewer on the start menu. Windows logs are placed under different categories with three major ones used for system troubleshooting and investigation. Applications records log events associated with the system components such as drivers and interfaces interface components that run on application. System records event related to programs installed and run on system. Security records event associated with security such as logons, attempts, and resource access. On the main dialog screen, we can see that the log events are presented in a tabular format which shows the levels, date, time, source of the event, event ID, task category, application, security setup, system forward. Those are events, those are event IDs, and so on. When we select an event, event properties window display information related to the event under here, the general tab. We can dig deeper into details tab. Note that we shall focus on application logs for the remainder of the room as Aurora writes its events in this category. For more information on event log, check this room. Man. Okay. Which application produce event logs? Wait, what? Application produce event logs. Which applications? Providers? Applications that subscribe are called consumers. Which event level would be used to describe the significant problem? Error. What is the event Windows event log category responsible for recording event associated with programs currently running, code applications, general, components interface, install running system, go, system, Aurora. Aurora is Windows endpoint agent that uses Sigma rules and IOCs to detect threat patterns on local event streams using ETW when the true false positive rule matches. Aurora triggers response actions that will be displayed under the Windows event log viewer. It has been designed to be customable based on Sigma rule set and functions as an on-premises tool with no data leaving the network. Aurora comes with enterprise and free community version called Aurora Lite. The table below summarizes the key differences in service offered by two versions. So basically, how this room is an advertisement for Aurora and Aurora Lite. Very nice. Sigma based event matching on ETW data. This is same. Open source is the set. This is where we have some changes. Comfortable management with a S card. I don't know what it is. Additional detection models, unlimited number of response action, rule encryption. Okay. Features on Nextron system Aurora. Aurora obtains the data from different ETW channels and adds live information for commercial version to enrich and recreate events similar to those generated by Sysmo. It does not create tons of logs. It only populates the viewer with events of triggered rules. Below we can look at the comparison between Aurora and Sysmon. Sysmon kernel driver, Aurora ETW. Sigma rules event coverage 95%, 100%. Related log volume low, high. Sigma is matching yes, no. Response action yes, no. Resource control, CPU load, output throttling, yes, no. Output event logs, yes, yes. Output file, yes, no. Okay, so incomplete data due to filters, no, yes. Blue screen, no, yes. High system load, no, yes. Okay, so basically, bye Aurora. Bye bye. Is supported on Windows 7 Server 2012. On your version must run using administrator privileges. It must also be executed from any running antivirus or excluded from any running antivirus. This is to avoid application being blocked from executing its services. Look at how install configure user manual. Aurora presets can be configured in 4 different configuration formats that dictate how the solution would fetch event rise alerts. The 4 preset formats are standard, reduced, minimal, intense, low minimal reporting level, high minimal reporting level, high minimal reporting medium, level of severity, standard. And here we can see how to configure it. Looks very similar to this one. Log status. So useful flags. Some valuable flags to use: query different types. Aurora includes status information from the current running service. And we can see what information will be printed for the current running service. Trace queries all the events Aurora monitors from the subscribed channels. It also provides complete event statistics. JSON output from JSON format for more comprehensive view of the alert that are easy to search. Output options. Output support following output options. Event logs. On an early task, we looked at trace via event viewer. Click details. Log files. A log file can be written using log file flag, which will automatically rotated once the specific log size has been attained. By default 10 megabyte. Log file would be found under the directory where Aurora is running from. So for example, Aurora agent XF, log file, Aurora minimal log. With this command, Aurora status will found enabled under the configuration active output sections. UDP TCP targets. Network targets direct Aurora events to an internal repository via UDP or TCP using flag. UDP target, TCP target. Those options require arguments in form of host port, such as internal repo and port number. Aurora responses. Responses extend the Sigma services and can be used to set specific actions to be performed, and response where an event matches. Those actions can help contain threat actor or limit their damage on the system host. The intended use cases for responses are worm containment, ransomware containment, and the hard locking of application. Aurora supports 2 responses: predefined and custom. Predefined response. Following responses are available by default with installation of Aurora. Suspend, used to stop suspend process. Kill, used to kill specific process. Dump, used to create dump file found in the dump path folder. Custom responses. Custom responses are made call internal program to execute function based on raised alert. The program has to be available from pass, and the answer would be command line query. With those responses, a set of flags can be used to modify and relay different types of information. The flags have been summarized in the table below. Simulate recursive low privilege only ancestor process ID field used to test out rules response won't be triggered. A log will be created to indicate the type of response that would be triggered. Recursive. It is used to specify that response will affect descended processes. It is usually true by default. Marked by flag low priv only. The flag specifies that response will be triggered if the target process does not run as local system or an elevated role. Ancestors flag specifies that response will affect the process ancestors, not itself. The key value pair is indicated by integer to show the level of ancestors. 1 is parent process, 2 grandparent, and so on. Process ID field, flag specified field contains the process ID shall be affected by the response. Failed kill process ID, Now, Aurora event IDs, if you may have noticed through the screenshot and navigating through the VM, Aurora uses event ID to log the event logs. The table below lists the IDs related to Sigma, internal, and other notable modules used. I'm not going to read all these IDs. You can see them in here. There are many of them. File creation Sigma rule matched, ETW canary, LSS dump detector, beacon hunter, an internal panning occurred, and so on, which Aurora preset support the highest CPU limit. The highest CPU limit, we just didn't show this, but high intense CPU limit. Intense. And we can see here that light does not have Nextron Sigma rule set and does not have Nextron IOC set. Very important, very important. If you go to use Aurora, which process would be terminated when the response flag ancestor 3 is used? Which process would be ancestor 3? Wait, what? Which process would terminate when the response ancestor 3? Parent, grandparent, ancestor 1, parent, grandparent, grandparent, I think grandparent, grandparent. Whoa, 3, parent process. For 2, it's grandparent. Great grandparent. When Aurora agent is terminated, which event ID will be used? Aurora agent terminated. Aurora is terminating. Process is terminating. 103. Okie dokie. Function test. Once Aurora has been installed and configured, several function tests can be executed on to check its various functionalities. Let's look at few Sigma matching and IOC matching examples, listing user account privileges. Running a simple command who am I priv list current user privilege will trigger Sigma rule with the level high and create warning level image on an event log. This will be process creation alert. Suspicious network communication. Running a suspicious DNS beaconing request will result in critical rule being triggered. Below is an example that matches suspicious Cobalt Strike DNS beaconing. This is one, and this is the, I don't know, okay, I've just tried it. Since Aurora uses ETW to observe and monitor Windows system events, these are some. There are some sections where EDA events aren't available or not easily usable. Those areas cover Aurora's detection gap, and we shall look at them in this task. Named pipes are a one-way communication channel between processes that are subject to security checks in the memory. ETW has no provider to gather information about creation or connection to named pipe. Observing named pipes event is through the kernel object handler, which is noisy and can provide unnecessary information. Solution using Aurora under intense configurations. Complement Aurora configuration with Sysmon to capture the events. So we could not drop Sysmon on all levels. Registry events are generated on ETW by creating keys or writing values primarily via the Microsoft Windows kernel registry. However, this information may not be directly usable as all registry handles must be tracked individually as keys are referenced by their handle for value setting to. Solution using Aurora intents also complement Aurora configuration with Sysmon to capture the events, though Aurora is not 100% EDR. ETW disabled. Attacker can have the ability to disable ETW events by patching the system calls that Windows would use to create the event from user space, writing detection rule based on the event that originate from the process are caused by provider that is not Microsoft Windows kernel should be done with care. Solution. Aurora's full version uses ETW Canary module to detect any manipulation of ETW using the flag report status allows for reporting the agent status to our SIEM and will include states of the observed processes, dropped events that can indicate signs of manipulation. So, the Aurora machine. Let's see what is Aurora capable of. Launch the attack VM and give 3 minutes to load. Okay, so now recently series of suspicious activities have been observed within THM Acme system. Ethiso has recently heard about Aurora and has tasked you to carry out tests on one of the Windows hosts, assess its detection capabilities, has been installed. However, it is not running. Execute the patch. This is the patch. This is the patch. File on desktop. Associate. Answer below. In case no event appears, rerun the batch. Aurora. What is the title of first event rule? Let's see. Title of first event rule. Then type. Title of first event rule. Dude, I can't see anything. For its event ID, it's Aurora exe something command line something. What event ID are you talking about? No event IDs. This one? I don't know. VMI event. VMI. This one maybe. This. V. No. I don't know. Title. Node caption command line executable path. Okay. Node caption command line executable path. What is the title of first event? Title? We don't have title in here. What is the rule ID matched Sigma rule? What Sigma rule level event? Look at the rule description. Dude, are you asking question based on what? Description? What's that? Rule ID. Failed. Description. What description are you talking about? You don't have description in here. So after opening Event Viewer, I found something. Let's hope it is the thing. So this description, this is rule ID, rule ID. Sigma rule ID, event ID. This is the title. What is rule ID? Rule ID. This is rule ID. What is rule level of event? Rule level medium. Maybe. What is the rule title of the second event? Second event, okay. Let's see what is second event. Maybe I had second event. Agent, Aurora agent. Yes. Maybe I will search for rule. This one. Nope. This one. Nope. Stopped. No. Let's proceed. Press continue. Wait for. Press continue. Aurora. Suspicion. Suspicion text creation. Maybe this one. Yes. Based on rule characteristic, what malicious activity is associated with the event. Look at the rule description. Okay, let's look in the rule description. Details, rule, event. Okay. Copy details as text. Let's create new one. Not open. New. Don't save. Boom. Description. Windows. command processor. What? Ransomware. Ransomware. Nope. Rule characteristic associated with the event. Based on rule characteristic, what is? Look at the rule description. Rule description. Rule description is ransomware. 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 Yes, that's it. Ransomware. Create text. So that's it. We've done this room. Congrats. See you in next room.